Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. Grass picking up is what's going on, and I'm bringing it actually over to the BGA because, well, I want the grass to ferment overnight, and by this time next month we can just take all that silage and dump it right into the BGA. I'm trying to earn enough cash to be able to buy, of course. I don't know what field it is. Is it 69? I think it might be. When we go on the farmlands, you know which one, right behind where the silo is. This will be my last load, I think, for picking up the grass. Mowers have been returned. We did lease those. I got the planter right over there ready to plant our last field of corn. Got the one down by the grain mill already taken care of. Had to go refill with seed a couple times and fertilizer a couple times as well. Money's been kind of going up and down because fertilizer, well, that costs $3,200 per container, and we're bringing in only about $3,000 an hour. I don't want to say only $3,000 an hour. I remember when I just had the silage in there, I was making like $3,000. Now I got silage, manure, and slurry in there, and yeah, we're still making this $3,000 an hour. This is the last trip of grass, and kind of interesting. We're going to be just under 250,000 liters of grass. Last cut was like 260 something. I'm not really sure what's going on in my grass field. It kind of varies. Maybe because it went through winter. I have no idea if that's a thing, but we'll just say it is. I just keep thinking about maybe in the long run, keep changing plans, but by getting the cow barn, we'll get more manure. But we're not ready for that. I think definitely getting the other field first is what I need to do. I'm actually thinking about getting the new field and maybe transforming that over to another grass field. And that way we can make a whole bunch of silage and the BGA can really go through it, make us a whole bunch of cash. But if I do that as a grass field, I'm definitely going to want a bigger forage wagon. This is my 11th trip on over to the BGA, and after a few trips, the trip seems to get longer and longer the more you take it. If you happen to see some stuttering in the game as we go along, I had a couple of issues. I was getting ready to record and my microphone wasn't working. I said, well, that's interesting. Couldn't get it to work. And then my headset stopped working. I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. So I'm like, well, maybe my PC needs a hard reboot. So I checked on a few things. Anytime I reboot my PC, I checked my drivers. My graphics driver needed an update. So I logged into the game and the game was very choppy. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. So I went to my shader cache, and I had 4 different files of shader caches. I'm like, wow, you really keep on top of that, don't you, like you used to? Not so much. So I deleted all those, so now the game's reloading in all the shaders as we drive around. I kind of did a little tour of the map a little bit before I started recording, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, let's zip on in here. So yeah, with the 10,000 liters I got, actually, no, we will be over 250. We got 243,000 liters in here now. So this will put us over 250. So it's pretty close. It just varies a little bit. We do need to compact it. You know what? I'm actually going to leave the grass in the forage wagon because the extra weight with the wheels will help us out compact it. And I haven't compacted it at all. Let me turn on the helper HUD so we can see where we're at. Yeah, we're at 1%. So the weight of the forage wagon and the Fendt and all the extra wheels will help us out. So this will take a minute or two, maybe longer if I keep getting stuck. But the more I go over it, the more it'll flatten out. So right now I'm just trying to go over anywhere to get it more down to size. So there's a couple ways we can transport the silage next month. Probably the belt is going to be the best way to do it. I think the belt, I don't remember how much it costs the least, but it's not too expensive. And then we just have to bring our trailer over, load it up, and bring it over. I don't think the belt, one belt alone, no, that's way too far. I was thinking, can one belt reach from here over to the unloading zone? And I probably would need 2 belts. At that point, yeah, it's not really worth it. I mean, either way, I need a belt. Maybe in the distant future, we could just have like a bucket and bring it over, but I think the belt is still cheaper even then. I could get a bucket for the Valtra, but then that only holds, what, 2,000 liters? Been a moment since I've had a bucket for the front loader tools. Oh, wow, that only holds 1,000. Does that hold? That holds 850. That's 1,250. Well, there's 2,300. Okay, so even at 2,300, you can imagine at 250,000 liters, that's still over 100 trips with a bucket. So I think I'd just rather lease the belt for like $1,000 and get all that. Well, it's not going to take all the silage, or will it? Yeah, that holds 300,000 liters, and we got under 300,000 liters here. So yeah, it all works out. All right, so currently 15% done. Let me keep on compacting this. Then I'll dump the grass I got in the forage wagon out, and we'll get this covered, and it'll be done fermenting by the beginning, well, at the same time next month. So somewhere by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll have a whole bunch of silage to put into the BGA, and then the BGA will bring us in a whole bunch of cash. We're shooting for 322,000 and change to be able to buy. Okay, so it's actually field number 43, but if we go to the farmland, I think it's lot number 69. So that's what we're looking to buy. We're halfway there-ish if I can stop spending money. And yeah, that's a hard thing for me to do. When I see money in the bank account, it's like, what can I spend that on? That's what I like to do in Farming Simulator. Anyways, 22% done here, so it shouldn't take me too long to get this compacted. And then we got to go plant that corn in the last field, return the planter. The planter is getting kind of close to the 1 hour time. I think I'm at 0.7 hours, so hopefully I can get that field done really quickly. The pigs need some straw, and the chickens need to be fed. And then after that, we are done with the month of April. And we can move on to May, where we'll have to do some weed control in a couple of fields. Well, here is a benefit of having a really huge silo bunker. Just keep making circles, and you're never really getting off the chaff itself, and you're constantly compacting it, which makes it go up really, really quick. All right. Anyone else dizzy? And just think I was doing that maybe 30 seconds longer than what you saw. Got to compact a little bit more because we are adding some in here. So only 240. Wait, my math must be... wait, this only holds... I thought this held 24,000 liters. It might be 23,000 liters. That makes more sense. If it's 23,000 liters, I brought 10 loads here, plus the 10,000 liters I just dropped off. Yep. All right, so 240. So yeah, I think last harvest we got like 260. Now we're down to 240. Not too sure, but it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and compact, or not compact, this will cover it up. I don't want to clear this silo, bunker silo. I forgot how to change the color of the tarp. Well, we'll just cover it. I don't want to accidentally change cover silo. Green, lime green. That's what I like. I think I'm actually stuck in the tarp. I probably am. That happens. Let me get a little assistance here. We'll get back into the fent. There we go. So that'll be converted over to silage at 13.23 in the month of May. And then we'll lease the belt and get that silage into the BGA as soon as we can. So that should bring in a whole bunch of cash following that. All right, so time to bring the forage wagon back to the farm and then bring the fent over, and we got to plant the rest of that corn. And then we'll try to empty out the seed and liquid fertilizer. Seed may come out. Liquid fertilizer, don't have much hope for it. And yeah, then we'll take care of the chickens and the pigs very quickly. And then we can fast forward to the month of May. Currently, no good contracts are out there. So yeah, I'll probably just move right on forward. A little trip through the woods. And here we are. Yeah, I hope I can get this field done in 0.3 hours, or actually less. I don't want to go over that 1 hour. So I think it'll be like an extra $1,200 if I go over the hour. So I got a full tank of seed and liquid fertilizer. This is a 9 meter, maybe 9.5 meter wide case planter. A direct planter, so we don't have to cultivate the field beforehand. But we did plow it because I had corn in it before. Someone did forget to plow one of the cornfields and planted oats into it. Oops. Oh well. That field is still off anyways because I had so much nitrogen into it. We're still over the limit on nitrogen in some areas. But this upcoming harvest should take care of that. The next year, the field should be in pretty good condition. And the field down across from the grain mill that I planted in between episodes, we will also plow in the runoff areas, and that way we'll, I don't want to say expand the field, but it'll give us more farm field, more of a field to farm for the next season, so it'll give us more yield. But we'll have to soil sample it, spread some lime down and all that. But I am hoping before the rye is ready for harvest, we'll have another field to take care of anyways. So we still have in the BGA silage, manure, and slurry being processed. I did have to double check on that when I saw only an income of $3,000. I was like, I thought it was going to be higher than that. And I checked, I'm like, okay, everything's turned on, it's processing it. I was like, oh, well, it's going to make the money either way. It's going to go through that slurry and manure quick. Actually, it'll go through the silage pretty quick as well. The afternoon here in the month of April seems kind of hazy, like it's getting real humid. But being only 60 degrees Fahrenheit, at least it's not hot. Yeah, in the future, I do need to go ahead and probably purchase a planter. And I probably should have done that instead of the drill that we purchased. I do think we got... I think we bought that drill, though, on sale. I think... wait, how many hours are on that drill? I can definitely check on that. I think that was a used item. That's why we went ahead and purchased it, right? Yeah, it's got almost 35 hours on it. So that's why I went ahead and bought that. I was trying to remember on this series. I know it's a drill I've been wanting for a long time on a few series. We just haven't gotten to it. We've leased it and used it. The Horsch Avatar. Now we're aiming for a planter. Although the planters are kind of expensive. But the more farmland we have here in the farm, the more money we'll make. Which means we'll be able to purchase more equipment for the farm. I won't have to lease. I don't mind leasing and all that and getting to the point where we currently are. And if I can stop doing contracts, that would be nice as well. Contracts are good. I mean, they got us to where we are as well. But we are in year number 7. It's not like it used to be for contracts. I just take the good ones, meaning 10,000 plus. That's what I want to see for contracts. Anything else, I just put my nose up at. It's like, nope, doesn't pay enough. And I used to like harvesting contracts, but those seem to take a while. And I've had issues with 2 harvesting contracts on this map. One in the early days, like in the first 10 episodes or so here. I think it was a canola harvest we did. And we did not have enough material to deliver. We were short on the delivery. And then just recently, I did a corn harvest in field number 2. I completed the amount of grain to be delivered. but it only showed the contract being like 70% done, and the entire field was harvested. Now, the only thing that could possibly happen there is I did some of the contract, and then I saved the game, logged out, came back in, and that may have goofed up the contract. So I split up the harvest in different game times. So maybe it only counted the harvest I did when I was logged in. I have no idea. But we took care of it thanks to the Easy Developer mod. I mean, the whole field was harvested. We didn't need any more grain delivered, so we just had to cancel the contract. And then we paid ourselves for doing the contract. Every time I turn around, I am going to turn off the planter just to save any few seconds that I can. Like I said, I got another 0.3 hours I can use this before I get any fees onto it. Oh, and that does bring up a point of, yeah, when leasing, and it says for every hour, it's not the in-game hour. So turning down the speed of the clock in-game, if I know there's a mod out there where you can actually pause time. If I were to put the clock at, like, say, 0.5 hours, it's not it's not a full hour in-game, and then I pay the hourly fee. It's real time. So I could pretty much be planting this field at the time scale of 100. And as long as I get it done within a real-time hour, I don't get charged any additional fees. It's not like if 10 hours pass in-game, I'm paying every hour. So I hope that kind of clears that up. There was a question about that. And I understand that question because when I really started doing some contracts or leasing back in FS15, I kind of thought the same thing. So anytime I lease an item, I put it down to the lowest time scale possible. Before I realized, I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter. It's real-time stuff. And this planter for 3 fields is good that we did. If I was doing 4 fields, then I would definitely go over the hour. And then it might be wise to go ahead and lease the other planter. Basically, we got the small version of the case planter here. I think it goes 9 meter, 12 meter, 18 meter. And I don't think we need an 18 meter on this farm, but I think the 12 meter would suit us good. But once you own it, then it really doesn't matter how long it takes you to do a job. Well, in some sense it does matter how long it takes you to do the job, but you can always hire a worker, and you don't have to worry about if it goes over an hour or so. You own it. You just put more wear and tear on it, that's all. So I am thinking when we wake up in the month of May, will we have $200,000 in the bank account? That is going to be the question. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to buy that field before that crop is ready for harvest. I suppose what I could do is, if that field is ready for harvest, go to the contract page. And this is if we don't own the field. Go to the contract page and see if a contract is available for harvesting that field. I could accept the contract, and that way the farmer will harvest the field themselves. And then maybe they'll buy me some time to come up with the money to buy the field with the crop in it. I can't really see the condition of the field because we don't own it. With precision farming, you can't check the fertilizing state because we don't have any soil samples. The lime is never really taken care of for the most part, I don't think. I may have done a fertilizing contracts. I've done a few fertilizing contracts in that field. I just can't remember with that crop in it or not. And it'll be just like the cornfield that we bought last fall. It's probably over-fertilized. %41 on fertilizer. Am I halfway done with this field? Yeah, I think so. Just want to make sure I don't have to go back to the shop, to the store to buy more fertilizer. I think there is still some there. But once we get this field planted, our fields are all set, but the grass field, of course, will need some more fertilizer, like always. So I just got my fingers crossed we can get this field done without having to pay another hourly fee. I think it's going to be close. I got about, what, 4 more passes probably with this. Each pass takes me about maybe half a minute. So 2 more minutes. May not seem like a lot, but what's going to really suck is if I get within like a few meters of finishing the field and all of a sudden we see some money being drained from the account. And be like, oh man, we just went over by a minute. How would the store actually know? Do they have an hour meter on the planter itself? Actually, if any farmers can tell me out there, I think it's going to be like the way other things are leased. I think you just lease it. Do you lease it by a day? And it doesn't matter. I mean, if you lease it for a day and don't use it at all, I mean, you still got to pay for the day. But do they have hour meters on implements? I have no idea. I don't own a farm myself. I feel like I'm watching the bank account more than I'm watching where I'm drilling in the field. So if I start overlapping somewhere, that would kind of suck because that means I'd have to make another pass I don't want to make. So I'm hoping this is enough corn for the pigs for next year. We got more than enough for this year. But we do have a good amount of cereal crop as well that we can put in their feed trough. So we shouldn't run out of food. But if worse comes to worse, we will start selling the pigs that are in the pen and not have as many pigs. That way they won't eat as much. But we do need to start selling some pigs in the pigsty. That's not going to be wide enough to get this, is it? Oh, it is. Perfect. Yeah, we want to start the adult males. Technically, we don't need any adult males in there for the pigs to breed and have offspring. But we will keep one adult male in there and we'll get rid of the rest. We want mostly the sows in there, the females, because they're the ones that have the offspring. And with the enhanced animal mod, even though the pen is full, they can have offspring. And any extra offspring that overfills the pen gets sold automatically. And guess what? The money just went down to $169. If you watch that back, I think it was the last second of drilling. You've got to be kidding me here. It's going to say 1 hour on it, isn't it? What, was it even like a second? Now, the hour meter doesn't count unless the planter is actually turned on, so me driving around doesn't matter. But it was at the last second. So, just think that one time if I was planting like the first field and turned off the planter a couple times when I was turning around, that would have been enough to save me the hourly fee. But now the money went back up because of the BGA. So close. See, I shouldn't have mentioned it when I was drilling that field. That's what was probably going to happen. And it did. I went 1 second or 2 seconds over the hourly rate. So right now I'm just going back to the main farm, the pig farm. I'm going to try to unload the seed and fertilizer out of this. And then we got to put some straw into the pig pen and give the birds their seed. Let me just drive. Actually, no, the really good place to start putting these pallets if they go here is over here. Oh, now see, that emptied the liquid fertilizer. I mean, it's great that it did. All right, planters. Yeah, can we return that, please? All right, and since we're in the Fendt, I think the trailer... Sometimes I leave the trailer over by the birds if I know I'm going to skip through the months rather quickly. But I didn't see it over there. The problem is, though, the trailer is kind of small. Yeah, it's over there because it's not there. The trailer is kind of small. It's hiding in the vegetation. Yep, now I can see it. Probably just didn't look in the right spot the first time. And I'm guessing if I left it here, there's going to be enough seed in there to feed them. $700 liters, that's more than enough to feed off their trough. I keep putting wheat in there, but every time I come back and log into the game, it looks like there's sorghum in there. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll bring this and we'll top this off with wheat because they will need wheat again every month. They can go about a month and a half before they run out of feed. And the reason why we make sure they always got feed into it, because with the enhanced animal mod, if they run out of food, I think you got about 2 hours or so before, yeah, we have problems. And this grain trailer, because it's so small, the trigger point is very touchy. All right, there we go. That's good enough. Good enough. We'll leave that right there. Let's jump into here. All right, I think we want to grab 2 bales. And I can't really see that high up. I don't know if I'm in the bale or not. I don't think so. There, I think I'm in that time. I can't lift up the front loader anymore because it's as high as it goes. Yeah, we're kind of pulling the whole stack down. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. I was trying to do it without dropping them. I probably should have just grabbed 3 of them, but the pen's not going to take 3 of them. It's not even going to take 2 of them, I don't think. Alright, we'll just leave that one there. So as I mentioned, wasn't even going to take 2 of them. Got to make sure that stays full because that keeps on producing the manure. And we all know what we're doing with that now, so very important. But we are done with the month. I'm not going to check the store because I am saving the money to buy the field in front of us. But what I will check, though, of course, are contracts. Any good ones have popped up since I last checked. Actually, they're dwindling kind of fast here. So what I do to keep my eye on the contracts, because we just play 1 day per month, as we know, contracts will come and go rather quickly. So every couple of hours, I will check to make sure new ones don't pop up. And once we get close to dark, then let's go ahead and like, all right, forget it. Because some will pop up in the middle of the night as well. But I don't want to be doing contracts in the dark. I mean, bringing the money in is nice, but working in the dark is not that much fun. Yeah, so I think we're going to be shy of 200,000. I don't think there's enough in the BGA to get us that high. But you know what? It's going up, as we can see, every hour. Not that much that hour, so must be we're out of some material. All right, let me slow down time to time 3. And we will wake up at 6 a.m. The sun may actually be up because we are going to be in the month of May. $196. Let's see. We got a cultivating job, but that means I gotta borrow an item. Sewing contracts. They sound good, but they do take a lot of time. Flax I can plant, and soybeans I can plant as well. 30. Field number 30. That is behind, I think, the spinnery. And field number 11, I think, is way over by the sheep. No, field number 11 is over here. So I did a contract in that field. That took me about a half an hour to drill that field. And field number 30 is right there. I'll leave those there for now. And actually, the way the contracts come and go, they might already... Yeah, one of them's already disappeared. All right, let me just fast forward till 8 o'clock because the store doesn't open till 8. And we need to lease the See and Spot weed sprayer. So we got to wait until 8 o'clock before the store... I mean, I can borrow it now. I just can't get into the gate. There we go. Slow down time. And then we'll just double check on the contracts. Yeah, disappearing as we go. You know what? We'll just say forget it for now. All right. So, weed control. Sprayers. And we want this one right here. You know what? We'll just stick with the 18 meter. Oh, wait, if I just... Well, first off, See and Spot weed spray. Got to make sure that's on there. If I lease this, that is $33.40. Now if I lease it, that's $700. So we don't need it to be that big. We only got 2 fields. Doesn't take that much. All right, but make sure Weed Spot spraying is on there. Capacity. Don't need a whole bunch. All right, $33.40. We got that leased. All right, we need the Voltra for that. And we'll drop off the fertilizer spreader. Narrow tires are on. The manure is piling up. Is there anything left at the BGA? I'm pretty sure that's gone through. Actually, it's still processing a little bit of slurry. Not a whole bunch left. And it's going through it pretty darn quick. I did sell the wool from the sheep a month ago, so every time I see the month of May, I just remember that's the time to do the clothing stuff. Wool, fabric, and of course, clothing. But we just got the wool here. So let's get down to the store. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to buy some herbicide. Wait a minute, do I got herbicide? Gonna leave my tractor there for a second. I may actually have some herbicide over here, and if so, how much is left? 200 liters. Is that enough? Is that enough? That might be enough. So I'm gonna have to go down. I'm gonna grab the sprayer. I'll have to come back to the farm, take that 200 liters, and we'll see if I can get the 2 fields done. I'm guessing I'm gonna be short, because that's the way it's going. We just saw that with the planter and going over by a second. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you when I get the sprayer and the 200 liters in and back down to these 2 fields that we got to spray that do have weeds in them. That is a pallet of liquid fertilizer in front of us. And actually, you know what? Can I can't remember now. Can I get herbicide from the seed hut? I just want a couple 100 liters, actually. I don't think the pallet back of the farm... Oh, this will allow me to fill up with liquid fertilizer. Why can't I fill up with other... I'm not going to ask questions. Let's go ahead and start. 764, that's more than I wanted. Was that updated since I tried filling up with liquid fertilizer? No, because I tried to put liquid fertilizer in the planter that I just used, and it wouldn't take liquid fertilizer. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have the planter in the right position. Or the seed hut could be getting confused because it's trying to fill up with seed when it was full. That whole thing. Oh well. It saves me the money of having buying a whole pallet of herbicide. But now I know this that will take liquid fertilizer. Gave me the option for it. Anyways, let's get focused on what I need to be doing, which is taking care of the weeds. So this cornfield here has weeds in it. Now this last year was a wheat field, so this field did not need to be plowed. That's why it's got weeds growing into it. And once again, it's only going to spray where the weeds are. That's the whole point. Yes, you pay a lot for the system on the sprayer, but in the long run, the amount you save on herbicide throughout your farming years on the map, it will pay for itself. And plus, it really helps out your environmental score. Weed be gone. So just have to remember throughout the day, when it gets to be the afternoon hours at some point, our silage, or right now it's chaff, but our silage will be ready to be put into the BGA. And I'll make my trips count, because I'm pretty sure I got at least a trailer load in the fermenting silo that we have. And that would have, I had plenty of room in that silo to put the grass in. It's just the process takes a little bit longer. And I really just want that silage to get into the BGA to bring in the money so we can, like I said, buy field number 69 before it's ready for harvest. Not too worried about going over the hourly charge on the sprayer. This will be an item at some point we will own on the farm. It's just that priorities. We got certain priorities I'm going in. It may not be your priority list the way you would go about it, but it's the way I'm going about it, I suppose. Alright, now I can see where I've been. All right, let's go ahead and I should have plenty of herbicide in the sprayer. Excuse me. Losing my voice here. Should have plenty of herbicide in the sprayer. So I don't think I'll have to go back and top off any at all. I'm guessing I may have even like 400 liters by the time I get done here. I can see some weeds there. Trying to find the edge of the weeds that I've taken care of. But just in about 5-10 minutes or so, both fields will be done and we can move on. Side by side, our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more.
Still over 500 liters of herbicide in the tank. So not even gonna really use 300 liters. I think we were at 750 when we started, somewhere around there. I thought we were gonna be down to around 400 liters, but still got a huge amount in there. Going to see if this unloads, and if it does, then I'll bring it back to the farm. And what I'll do is I'll fill up with the other IBC that's back at the farm and then unload it. That way it'll be all into one. Yeah, the sprayer that we get, of course, will have the bigger boom on it at that point. I think it costs like $88,000, $90,000 to buy this outright with the 28 meter wide boom on it. Alright, let's just have a quick look on the chart here and see what the weeds look like. See a lot of brown and a lot of brown, so it looks like we're all pretty much set here. Let's see if I can unload it here. Can't perform that action here. Should be able to do it anywhere on land that you own. But I think I've had this problem before, and this is the one I can never unload from. Yep, I'm just going to go ahead and return it. Alright, and returned. Alright, so our fields are all set. How much silage do I have in the fermenting silo? Yeah, BGA is out of everything. Grass silage. We do have one trailer load. And actually, you know what? I might as well go ahead and turn that off because we're not going to mow the grass again for a couple more months. And no sense for paying that to run when it doesn't need to. So we'll grab the fence, grab the trailer, fill up with the silage that we do have. We'll bring that over, and the BGA can get back to processing that. I don't think I'll go through it all before the other silage is ready, but that's fine. I think the BGA is going to go through all the silage that we'll have by the time it does need the grass to be cut again, which will be July. Alright, you need to go in here, and I'll put the fertilizer spreader on there because I'm hoping to get a couple of contracts. But since we're so close to harvest season, I assume all the fields are done for now. Probably have to wait until after harvest season. Are the beacons on or off? The beacons are off. That trailer, well, I'll leave that there for now. That's not the trailer I want. It's a little bit too small for what we need to be doing here. Looks like my tractor needs to be repaired again. And that's one of the things about getting used items. The more hours you put on them, the faster they do wear down. While that's filling up, we'll just have a look at contracts here. 29, or sorry, field number 49 for 23,000. Well, that's what we like looking for. 49, is that, what field is that? Is that the one up here? Yes, it is. Right behind the farm, basically. And these fields need to be plowed. Those contracts would be nice to have. So that'll easily get us over 200,000 in the bank account. And this is not going to give us a full trailer. Should be empty. There we go. So in about 5 hours time, we'll be putting more silage in over at the BGA. That should be done at that time. And in case you didn't know, because I found this out in FS22 a while ago, if you wrap your grass bales with a baler and wrap them to make silage, it takes 3 months for the grass to ferment into silage. If you put it into a bunker, compact it and cover it, it takes 1 month to ferment into silage. So having a bunker is beneficial because you'll get the grass converted over to silage in a month rather than having to wait 3 months. But depending on what you're using it for and all that, I suppose you would have the cost of putting in a bunker if you need to, and you would need a way to transport the grass into the bunker, so a forge wagon. Or you got to look at the cost of doing it the other way, where you just need a baler and a wrapper, or a combo of the two. There are baler wrappers out there. Balers that are also wrappers. Probably the way I should say that. Then you just have to wait a few more months to ferment. But if you're just selling the silage as is, you probably want to wait until the winter months when the price of silage is at its best. But if you own the BGA and it's being made into electricity, then it doesn't matter. Methane, there is a peak time to sell methane, but we don't get the option out of this BGA to gather the methane and sell it when we want to. It basically sells it on the hour along with the electricity. Right, in the future, actually buying like that field right there, which I think is field number 2, and converting that over to a grass field, and then maybe putting a bridge in, coming right up to the BGA, that'd be very convenient. While that's emptying in, we'll just run over here, and this I'm going to guess is like 75% done, maybe a little bit more, 84% done. Yeah, so that'll be done, as we know, at 1:30 in the afternoon. But now the BGA does have some silage to process, so I might as well go ahead and just leave this tractor and trailer right on over here. I will lease the belt later on, and we can drive the belt up here on its own. So let's go ahead and park this up right here. And fertilizing contract is what I'm going to be doing in between episode. We'll see if any other contracts do come up in the meantime. But that is what we're looking for darn sure. Other ones are weeding, but I just got rid of the weeder. And the See and Spot weed sprayer does not work on contracting fields. Maybe 30 episodes ago I did that, and we did a contract on a field, and the See and Spot weed sprayer doesn't work on contracting fields, oddly enough. You'd think it would, the way the system would be, but oddly enough it's not. So I'm definitely going to get this contract done, of course, and then since I'm out fertilizing, I'm going to get tempted, I'm sure, to do some other ones as well. But first ones first, the more expensive ones first. But yeah, next episode we'll probably start with emptying this out, loading into the BGA. And that rye, it is rye in that field that we want to buy, I think, correct? Yes, it is rye. And rye... Where's the rye on the list? Well, in June, technically, it can be harvested. So, I don't know. I need like another $120,000, $130,000 to buy that field before it's ready for harvest. What does rye sell for? I mean, we can put it into the silo and wait. Best time to sell it is in December, and looks like about $400 per. So all depends on how well it yields. But the BGA is back up and running, so we'll get some money from that. Money from the contract, of course. Like I just keep saying, just got to wait and see how the money comes on in. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.